fresh
I didn't realise it took 5.5 years to make that movie.
Yeah, oh no, it's been like Jeff was already filming for years, and then they came on about 2018 or late 2017. We started talking to them, so it's been a while. But actually even longer than that, because Jeff's been filming longer than that. But they came on about 5 years ago, so but it's all good. All's well that, I don't know, starts well.
It's worth it, man.
And I appreciate that. Yeah. And I love your review on it as well. It was very insightful, and from you, it meant a lot.
Oh, God.
My brother. All right, let's roll.
Izzy, I know you're a go-ahead sort of a guy, but I want to look back because I still can't get over that. The Alex fight and what you said in the cage afterwards about everybody should feel that happy.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen a few fights in my day, but I've never felt
a couple.
but I've never ever felt like that.
See, from you, because you've seen thousands, fucking thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of fights, locally and internationally. So, yeah, I mean, you have a good litmus test to be able to gauge. So yeah, that was the main thing, and this is why I don't. Being perfect isn't exactly cracked up all to be, because then you don't get moments like that to be knocked down 3 times and have to rise up again like a phoenix and then flame him in a second, instantly, and then just change the whole course of the rest of your career, you know? Yeah, things like that, that's what losses are for, so you can overcome.
Yeah, I got to tell you, because I was standing up and just Robin and myself there, she was on the sofa, and I don't know if it's like a out-of-body experience, because one minute I'm watching and thinking everything's going good, then you're backed up against the fence, and then the next thing I'm looking from a different angle, and I'm jumping up and down, yelling out, "It was a trap, it was a trap, he fell for the trap."
Exactly.
And I looked across at Robin. We're not as young as we used to be, but I'll tell you what, the Maasai warriors would have given us a thumbs up.
Man was up and down. Yes.
It was so good.
Nah, that's what the moment's about, man. Like I wanted to make people feel something instantly. Like even those who don't like me, I want them to feel like, yes, he's backed up again. He's backed up again. Oh. And those who love, they're like, oh no, he's backed up. He's backed up. Like that rush of adrenaline and dopamine and all that. I wanted that to just fill them. And to be honest, like I just want people to feel that level of happiness just once in their life. And I meant it. I spoke from the heart, spoke from the truth, and yeah, I was free.
There was a couple of things that immediately, and into my mind there was Ray Sefo, Jerome Labana.
Oh yeah.
I thought of that.
That one.
Yeah. And I thought of Muhammad Ali. You know, I didn't even know that you engage and you guys had joined up.
And I used the old rope and dope, or whatever you called it on the fence. Yeah.
But the other one was Terry Hill come into mind.
And yes.
After the first fight, Terry Hills was the only one.
After the one in New York?
Yeah, the first, he was the one that said, I wouldn't have stopped that fight because I know Izzy. And I thought of him, and I thought of that, and that's
what I'm saying.
Everybody saw how dangerous you are when you're under pressure.
Thank you. So for me, I even said that after the fight in New York, I said to the ref, like, I'm fine. And people were still like, oh, now it would have been over. But I'm like, look, even Mark Goddard refereed my Kelvin Gastelum fight. He gave him so much chances after I knocked him down, the most knockdowns in the title fight history. And fair enough, you know, like I said, I was kind of the but like I said, I'm not looking at his head. I'm looking at his shoulders, his arms, and his feet, and I'm waiting for that moment. And then when they stopped it, I was just like, ref, because I was hurt. But even though I'm hurt, I still had the lucid, state of mind to be able to set him up. But we got it done in the end, so I'm happy we got it done finally.
Can I ask you about the power in that right hand? Because to me, it was a surprise because it looked like you're going to skirt out and reset and come back and do what you've been doing.
That's what they expect me to do.
And then, but how did you get the power? Because you didn't look like the second right hand you was set, and I can understand the power from that. But the first power...
First one, it's a jab that set it up, because then when I caught the left hand, then I got the look, the read, and that popped, put his head in place, and then boom, I was already planted. But I don't remember I remember the first right hand really. I don't remember the jab, but what I do remember was the speed. I bounced off the fence because it felt like I went through a vortex. Because it was like, boom, and then, and the second one I don't even remember hitting him, but just the speed I remember just boom, and then he's on the ground. And that I remember just taking my time, like it's almost like time froze, and I was like, this fucking everything, and I laid it down, and yeah, it was a fucking moment in time.
Can you differentiate the power between the first right hand and the second one?
First one I felt it hit. Like I said, I didn't really feel the jab, but that was just a subconscious thing. My jab to put his head in place, and I have a good intercepting jab, and then put his head in place, boom. But the second one just felt like nothing. It went through him. Like all I remember was the speed of my body projecting forward. I think that helped a lot as well. The fence, using the fence to come forward and boom, catch him.
The other thing is, I know if they were reversed and he'd hit you with that right hand, 3 strides you would have been over the other side, and most fighters would have been out of there. He come back up and put his head right back where you wanted it.
It was rocked.
That's what I wanted to know. Was he rocked, or was he just says like walk through anything?
Nah.
No, he was rocked.
Nah, he was rocked. He was already out of it. So I can kind of see he was just there, like, oh, what the fuck, and then go ahead. Like even when I saw him on the ground, he just was gone, offline.
Something I want my viewers to watch, and it hadn't been, well, I don't watch too much social media, but you brought it up, but a long time after the fight, I did 2 interviews with you. One was 5 weeks before the fight, and that's where you said, I'm going to get him out of there in 2 because I've spent too much time with him. That day I come in, and like I did today, watched a little bit of training, and I saw you pull up short, and I thought, oh, that's not good. Yeah. And Mike had said to me off camera, we would have liked more time, you know, to recover and everything. Yeah. And so that was in my head. You never mentioned it in our interview. Then the day before you left, I come in and you weren't even training. It was even worse. You were sitting there dressed. And I said to you, you're not training, right? Are you okay? And it's not the, and you said, yeah, that and the ankle. Yeah. But don't worry, Tony, I'll be right. But you were, and then I talked to Benny Johnson afterwards, and he said, oh, you heard I'm hurt Izzy again, you know, I never slept a wink all night.
That's my brother. Like, it happens, it's just part of training, but I never take it personal, and also I never also use them as excuses, because I expect, if you train the way we train, you get to a point where, like, there'll always be something, always be like a little twindly something, you know?
Yeah, but so, that was a wee bit more than that, and you hit it and didn't.
I could have made excuses, I could have pulled out, I could have said something, but I just knew, like, we can work through this. There's certain things you have to pull out, and it's like, okay, we understand, because, example, stuff with the brain is like, okay, we gotta pull out, because you're gonna get hit, and you don't want your cognitive functions to, you know, decline. But yeah, this one I was just like, nah, we can do this. And I just had one shot, and I just knew. I put that pressure on myself that whole camp. I was like, I got to get this guy out of here. If I won a decision, I would have been happy-ish, but not really as happy as I was.
Someone asked me also about, did I think you were going to win? And I said, I did. Why? And I said, whenever Izzy does an interview, he directs the interview. You put it on what you want to talk about, you turn it, everything. This time, it was like, there's no pumping up the fight, there's no doing what the UFC wants, there's just, I am focused, and that was the difference.
Yep, that was it, that whole camp. Everyone were asking me questions leading up to it, I was just giving like real short answers, and I was just like, this fight's already sold, you know, there's no need for me to try and say anything. Even if I say I'm gonna beat this guy, you guys aren't gonna believe me, because the fans, even like if I didn't really know me, I wouldn't have believed in me. But and people who know me would believe in me, because they know the mentality I have, the spirit that I have, the heart that I have. But if I didn't know me, I wouldn't even believe in me. So I was just like, there's no point trying to convince anyone. I just know what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Before we go on to Strickland, the movie, I was lucky enough to go along, mate. That was just something unreal, and people out there that haven't seen it, or when you get the chance, do it, because you'll know Izzy better than I know Izzy after you see that movie. You left it all out there, mate.
Yeah, well, some. Still got to keep some for myself because I know what this life brings, but a lot more. I exposed and expressed a lot more about myself. Even Eugene expressed a lot more about himself. And yeah, it's one of those things that we just felt like at some point you kind of have to just let the world in a little bit. So yeah, and some people might see it and they might not like it, but I really think you can get, even if you don't like it, there's something you can get from it. There's always something you can get from the movie. So yeah, 28th September, Auckland, New Zealand, all over New Zealand actually I should say, and Australia. It's out, and then after that it'll be released shortly to the world.
Brilliant, mate. Now, just we're running out of time. I know you're a busy man.
Yeah.
I'll just ask you one thing.
Yes.
Threat meter.
Threat meter, Strickland, to be honest. Skill-wise, give him a 3. Skill-wise, give him a 3. But a man with nothing to lose and everything to gain is a dangerous man. So that's why I take him seriously, and that's why I've put the work in this camp, and I've, you know, I've been grinding. Even right now, I'm tired a little bit, but I've been grinding. But I'll say, skill-wise, not even close. But a man with nothing to lose and everything to gain is a dangerous man. So I take him very seriously, and I'm gonna show him that I'm the dangerous man. Always a pleasure, brother. The OG, Big Tony.
Hey, thanks so much, mate.
All right, fucking Jay, Peacock, Carlos, Candy Floss Selection. Come on, buddy. Hey, let me mic you up.